Welcome back to Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft. And I'm mocking, giving you my views, thoughts, and opinions. Got a good one today. We're going to look at Mike Renner from PFF. He's got a mock draft. Speaking of mock drafts, 7-rounder. It'll be out tomorrow. I was going to put it out today, but they take so much work. I'm like halfway through the overlays at this point. And I actually got done with the actual 7-round mock like late last night. So that will be out tomorrow, Wednesday, along with the introduction of the Patreon and all those cool features. So yeah, man, I can't wait. It's been a load of fun. But I didn't want to keep y'all without content. So we got some mock the mocks. We're gonna do goat houses a little bit later this week as well. But what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know so, go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave that thumbs up. If you enjoy the content, as always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love hearing that, what you got to say. So let's go ahead, get into this sucker. Let's see what he has for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Aiden Hutchinson. No surprise. He is, at least since that Ohio State game, for a lot of people, has ascended to that number one spot. Jacksonville, again, you have a quarterback, so even if the quarterback class was good, you're not looking for quarterback here regardless. I think it just makes it harder to trade down at this point. No one's really wanting to trade into the top 10 or move around in the top 10. With the quarterback class, that's kind of, but they go best player available to them. It's Aiden Hutchinson. I think you can make a case for Evan Neal. I think you can make a case for KT. So, yeah, let's keep this sucker rolling. Detroit Lions, they go KT. Oh, what a surprise. For a lot of people, he was like the unanimous number one overall pick. Again, until that Ohio State game where Aiden Hutchinson just went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, something like that. But KT, wonderful prospect in his own right. The guy's been heavily schemed against this year in the Pac-12, and the dude's just good. So Detroit, they stay with best player available, which leaves the Houston Texans taking Evan Neal. Makes too much sense. I don't know what the Texans think they're doing with Laremy Tunsil. I don't know what they think they're doing with Titus Howard. Is he a tackle? Is he a guard? Is Tunsil going to be with the team, or is he going to be traded? Regardless, they need to get protection. They need to get surefire protection. They need to make sure that they actually have invested in protection on the team for whoever may be their franchise quarterback, or even just honestly taking snaps under center. Davis Mills, he showed some promise in year one for a guy that wasn't pro ready and had very limited dropbacks through his career. So very encouraging. So yeah, good on them. We're going to keep this sucker moving. New York Jets go Derek Stingley. Another one where the top four, just not much change there. They go with Stingley. I think, again, the ankle, it needs to check out, but this is a dude that's he has superstar traits when it comes to just his build, athleticism. The guy oozes it. But yeah, we'll see how everything tests out with the ankle. And I mean, at this point for the Jets, you could go interior, you could go edge. But for me, Derek Stingley, he's kind of a top 5 prospect until, till we hear otherwise. The New York Giants, they go Charles Cross. See, I typically like, going one way or the other with either Icky. I think you can make a case for Cross. I don't know. I think Joe Judge, at least what he runs there, they might be more partial to Icky. But regardless, this is a dude, Cross, who came in this past season. He was extremely battle-tested the year prior in Mike Leach's scheme, where he had his ups, he had his downs. This year, it was just up, man. This guy locked down the SEC. He did a very good job Giants, they need help on the O-line, especially if they're going to stick with Jones and Judge. And then at 6, Carolina Panthers. They go Sam Howell, first quarterback off the board here. So, a bit interesting that Sam Howell's the first quarterback off the board. Renner, he mentions him as a dark horse for QB1. I've been talking about, man, I've been struggling with like who I think should be my quarterback one between Howell, between Willis, between Pickett. And for me, like I always just keep coming back to Sam Howell. I know the year was a bit of a down year. He was very, very devoid of talent there. The offensive line wasn't good. And it's not like he's going to be heading into a better situation at Carolina, but I think that experience where not everything was working, the usual wasn't open like it was the year before, having to kind of improvise, go through your progressions. I think that'll really help him be a bit more ready in the NFL. I think he's actually one of the more NFL ready prospects, especially at the quarterback position, that Panthers could maybe get away with star day one. Keep in mind, a lot of people thought Howell was a top 10 prospect. I still do. The guy's got the arm talent. The New York Giants go George Karlaftis. In all fair and honesty, offensive line and pass rush kind of the biggest needs. If we're gonna just stick with Daniel Jones, then yeah. So Karlaftis, he's a bit different than what they have in Azeez Ojulari. Makes a ton of sense. So not disagreeing with too much. I'm gonna go ahead, blow my nose real quick. All stuffed up, man. All stuffed up. All right, Atlanta Falcons. They go Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton is a prospect where everyone's going to list him in their like top 5 prospects, but then they're going to be like, oh, he can't go top 10. He's a safety. This guy is just built different. If you just view him as a safety only prospect, then yeah, you should draft him in the top 10. This is a guy that can play a variety of different positions and roles. He's a great athlete. Atlanta, they get their hands on him, and they can do a lot of creative things with him. I mean, let's be honest. I like the idea of Atlanta going receiver or pass rusher, but with Kyle Hamilton, you can't really complain too much just because, again, he's probably a higher prospect than who's left here at edge and receiver. And he's a difference maker, man. He's going to be an upgrade over everyone you have there in the secondary opposed to A.J. Terrell. Denver Broncos, they don't go quarterback, but they go Devin Lloyd. Linebacker being probably one of the most... one of the bigger position needs for the Broncos opposed to quarterback. And Lloyd would be nice, man. This is a guy that can kind of do it all. He's got freaky length, great wingspan, good short area quickness. He showed off as a pass or a blitzer, and you know he can win as just a true pass rusher. The guy is just a good. Now Lloyd, great prospect. This is actually probably one of the highest I've seen him. You gotta imagine quarterback value, like you gotta imagine they would pull the trigger on that. It'll be interesting to see where Washington goes at quarterback. They're not too further down here because I think they're at like 11 or 12. If you're willing to take a quarterback there, I think you might be willing to take one at 9. So we'll see. New York Jets get icky though. Kim McWanu. This is great. A guy that can be tackle or guard. He's got that potential versatility to him. The Jets, they love the trenches. Joe Douglas loves the trenches. Robert Saleh loves the trenches. Everybody loves the trenches, so they're probably going to love this pick. All right. And here's the... Oh, wow. Here's the Washington pick. They go Drake London. So I guess Knicks, whatever I was maybe saying about them going quarterback, this is interesting. I mean, pairing him up with Terry McLaurin is kind of cap. I mean, Drake London's fantastic, but I mean, Garrett Wilson's still my top guy, but still. Wow, that's interesting. So Washington doesn't go quarterback either. All right, let's keep this sucker moving. Here comes the next quarterback, though. Minnesota goes with Kenny Pickett. Kellen Mond gets no love. New management, new regime. They decide to go quarterback, which I think is actually pretty plausible. You would think if Pickett's good enough for the Vikings, again, these teams could view these guys in different light, but you think Washington or Denver might pull the trigger there. But wow, man. I guess you move on from Kirk Cousins some way, somehow. And then Pickett, like, he can come in and start immediately in this offense. This is very interesting. I'm not against this pick. I kind of like it. 13, Jameson Williams going to the Browns. So they do have Anthony Schwartz there as their like deep ball speedster. But keep in mind, that's kind of all he can do. The dude is more so a track star than an actual receiver. He is a bit polished as a route runner, doesn't have a huge route tree. And I think that's why we don't see him on the field a ton. Well, Jameson Williams, man, this dude, he is a polished route runner. Like the former Ohio State prospect. I know he's coming off the ACL now, or at least he will be allegedly. At least as far as I know right now, we don't have that information. As Nick Saban said, it's likely an ACL, while I've seen other sources say that he kind of like dodged danger there. So it'll be interesting to see what that may do to his draft stock. I don't imagine a lot, but yeah, no, they got to get Baker, get him weapons, I guess, if you're going to get a fair evaluation of them. Baltimore Ravens, they go Travon Walker. Honestly, you're going best player available, whoever that may be. I think if you're the Ravens, this cat could come in and probably take over like probably not take over Justin Matabuke's role. Maybe more so be the like Calais Campbell, which I mean Walker is going to need like, he's not immediately plug and play. I mean, you could sprinkle him into your defense, but he's still a bit raw as a pass rusher. But, man, physical upside, very good. The Philadelphia Eagles go David Ajabo. This guy's sick nasty. Them going edge makes a ton of sense. The defense kind of needs a youth movement. So, them doing that there doesn't surprise me. Mod Gardner going to the Eagles. Again, this one doesn't surprise me. That defense needs a youth movement. Mod Gardner, cornerback too. Yeah, sounds about right. Jordan Davis going to the Chargers. This is one I've talked about before. The run game, it's not great. Chargers are kind of a team that kind of sells out to stop the pass. So getting a very good run stuffer makes a ton of sense. You know the upside when it comes to a guy like Davis, how explosive he is at that size. But worst case scenario, he's a great run stuffer. New Orleans Saints go Matt Corral, dude. I'm really in the boat of them either like bringing back a Jameis Winston or them being in the market for one of the veteran quarterbacks out there like a Russ. You could even say Derek Carr. I really think that's the route they're going to go. But Matt Corral's interested. Like him and Sean Payton? Say less. Tyler Linderbaum going here at 19 to the Philadelphia Eagles. I know a lot of Eagles fans want this to happen. They're big fans of this. So, congratulations. I mean, they win defense the other 2 picks, so it's only right. Pittsburgh Steelers, Trevor Pennant going here. This dude's a big boy, very raw. But you can see he's got pretty good athletic upside for a man his size, 6'7", 321. By no means do I think guys like was a Okorafor and Moore are the answer. Well, I think Moore has showed a bit of promise as a rookie, former 4th rounder. Yeah, still a guy like Pettit is just the upside's much better with him. I mean, you can move a guy like Moore and have him challenge for the right tackle spot. I don't know how plug and play, ready to go Pettit is, though. New England Patriots, Jahan Dotson, dude. This could be fun, man. This could be fun. He's a bit different than what they have there at receiver with the guys like Myers and Bourne, even Aguilar. But, yeah, Dotson, dude. This guy's stupid competitive. For being slightly undersized at 5'11", 184. The guy gets up and contests the catch point as good as anybody. Well, not anybody. We know Drake London's kind of a monster in that regard. But, you know, this dude could be the home run threat whenever. Surprised. Garrett Wilson not being the top receiver on the board, but being like, what? At this point, he's like the 4th? Interested. But, hey, my Dolphins get him. I'm cool with that. If you haven't heard my Why the Dolphins Should Take O-Line rant, check out any other of my mock mocks. Las Vegas Raiders, they go Andrew Booth. Ton of sense. Damon Arnett, he is indeed gone. Casey Hayward could be very well gone after the season. Even if he comes back, the dude's like, what, 33, 34, something like that. So getting someone next to Mullen, as we've seen what happens when this team is beat up, the lack of depth at the cornerback spot. So Booth, great athlete. The dude's going to push himself up boards just because of how hot he ended the year and how he'll test out. This one's interesting. Cameron Thomas going to the Cardinals. This is like, I've seen people say he is like the Mountain West Aiden Hutchinson. Why pass rushers, am I right? But no, this dude's he's pretty solid. He's boasted a little bit more weight than Hutch, but in turn, he's not nearly the athlete. But the production's been great throughout his whole career. This year, he mainly was played on the outside. So, yeah, getting to sit under J.J. Watt's tutelage, that's spicy. I like that. Cincinnati Bengals, Kenyon Green, a guy that can play any of the positions on the offensive line, you gotta love. Trent McDuffie's just a great scheme fit for the Bills. I like this one. So, yeah, man, I guess I'm like, there's a couple of picks in this draft that I'm kind of like, whatever. For the most part, though, I like this draft. Nakobe Dean going to the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, you're going to do a lot of cool stuff with Micah Parsons. So getting a guy that it will be a phenomenal, a guy that can track down ball carriers, that can hold up in coverage, a guy with his speed, Nakobe Dean, scary. And then Tampa Bay loves Auburn corners. Roger McCreary makes too much sense. Added more depth, especially with Carlton Davis hitting for agency. You might want to address the corner position. Treylon Burks going to Kansas City. I know this is a popular one. A lot of people like this. I don't think Burks will be around at pick 29. But because, I mean, I don't think teams are going to sleep on guys with his size. Like, if he tests out like a DK Metcalf or Chase Claypool, I think this dude's probably going top 20, top 15. But this is exactly the type of receiver the Chiefs need, in my opinion. And then Detroit Lions go Desmond Ridder. Y'all know I ain't a big Desmond Ridder fan. I don't necessarily think Detroit has to go quarterback. If they feel like the value's there at the back of the first round, go for it. For me, Ridder, he hasn't shown enough in my opinion. I think the accuracy is still so hit or miss. But, yeah. Arnold Ebiketie going to the Tennessee Titans. They do have Landry as a free agent. So if they don't bring him back, just getting more pass rush would be nice, or would be pretty nice. Bud Dupree's already kind of looking like a bust draft signing. It's almost like I called that from the get-go, but is what it is. And then Bernard Raymond going to the Packers. This was not half bad. They could use more, I guess, more depth on the offensive line this way with a guy like Ryman, that he's a bit more of a project just because of how little he has played the position, but eventually could maybe be a replacement for Bakhtiari, or he could play on the right tackle spot somewhere down the line. But still a guy worth investing in. You could maybe, like, him and Trevor Pettit are going to be interesting Senior Bowl watches. So overall, this mock, I thought it was fairly fine. Like, I'm not high on Desmond Ridder, but I get why other people are. Cameron Thomas, I thought was very interesting. Garrett Wilson being like wide receiver 4, though. I don't know how that sits with me. I think the big, I don't know about Matt Corral Saints. The big problem I have with this draft comes around here. Or it starts with Denver going Lloyd over quarterback. And then you have the football team going London over quarterback. And then Minnesota going quarterback. I just don't feel like that. I don't know, man. If you're willing to take them at 12, I feel like the teams should be willing to take them at 9 and 11. And you could be like, well, all teams have different opinions of draft prospects. Yeah, but you're the one making the box. So, no, this is kind of like your opinion of the draft prospect, you know? I don't know. Regardless, let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for the video. Go ahead and do that YouTube thing. 7-round mock. Biggest project I do every time I decide to do it. Takes a lot of work. I get real sleep deprived. I'm starting to get that way right now. But check it out. Support it. So best way to support the channel will be with the Patreon. I have my up-to-date big board and position rankings there if you want to go check those out. So yeah, that drops tomorrow. Beautiful. We'll be doing position rankings on the channel in the next coming days. Maybe start next week. I don't know. We'll see. But again, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.